there, Sagittarius. It's time for your weekly horoscope for the coming 7 days. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to get a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Or, of course, you may also just simply follow the links below. And for those of you who enjoyed the incoming waves, I've decided to start publishing those as their very own video. And I've actually already uploaded one, and I'm going to be putting them on the main channel page under a playlist of their very own. And you can also just find them by opening up the down bar beneath this video and following the links there. So something there for those of us who like to go deep. And for those of you who want something a bit different, I actually just recently put up a video responding to a New York Times article titled, "Will Coronavirus Kill Astrology?" Now, it's really not worth getting triggered over, but it is an interesting talk, and I thought it would be an opportunity to bring up a decent conversation about modern astrology and just the phenomena surrounding the culture in it. And so if you're interested in reading that or watching that, I suppose you could say, or both, you can follow a link to that video in the down bar below as well, or just go to my main channel page. So what is going on when it comes to your cards for this coming week? Well, the entire week is overlit by the Hanged Man upright. And I'm getting a very distinct impression that this week, a lot of you Sagittarius people are actually going to be doing the work of bringing things to a stop, bringing things to a halt, that ultimately you have been maybe carrying for a bit too long on your back, things that you have maybe worked too hard to include, worked too hard to hold space for, worked too hard to keep as a regular part of your life experience or your reality experience. Because what I'm seeing with this hangman is not necessarily this idea of a surrender or staying on the fence or doing serious contemplative work, but actually doing a bit of downsizing, doing a bit of decluttering. And I feel as though with the hangman upright, a lot of you are actually going to be quite eager for this, to be perfectly honest, because it's giving off the vibe of a bit of a trade. It's almost as though you are trading out things that have become quite burdensome or possibly even just a baffling ordeal to carry on, to continue to accommodate, to continue to make sacrifices for, and you're actually offering that which you sacrifice too much for to be sacrificed for something that is actually much more applicable and complementary to your own journey. And so I feel like there is an interesting trade going on for a lot of you. We're putting a stop to something that perhaps has actually become too much to accommodate, too much to hold room for, too much to actually hold in all areas. And we're doing this in the highest interest of all concerned. Our relationships, our work, our friendships, all of it, no longer abiding that which will not get with the program. As we get into the Queen of Swords upright and the Seven of Swords reversed, I can definitely see that stop being put in place. The Queen of Swords is actually helping you draw a line or even cut a few cords this week as it relates to some kind of professional or financial matter that requires a bit of muscle in order to whip into shape. And with the Queen of Swords upright, this absolutely could show up as an actual ally themselves, or perhaps simply a resource that actually is more than capable of going to do that work for you. Because I'm actually getting this sense with the Queen of Swords is that there is something that has actually kind of gotten so out of control, or maybe, gone below board, so to speak, in such a way that it actually needs to kind of, have the crackdown kind of put on it. And I feel like the Queen of Swords and you are ultimately going to be able to succeed in doing this. And I do feel this is also correcting something that has actually been largely unfair to you or your team, or possibly even an account or something going on in a family or household dynamic that is finally getting to be rectified or fixed in the way that it should. In fact, the Seven of Swords reversed is indicating that something is not only finally getting corrected, but we actually have something turning around for you that will ultimately give you the opportunity you desire to move forward with. With the Seven of Swords in reverse, in a lot of cases, we often see something that has been either lost, denied, or maybe even taken away from us, getting its chance to boomerang back into our lives. And this could actually be something that is coming as a part of what the Queen of Swords upright has done for us, whether it's reversing something that never should have gotten the way it was in the first place, correcting a huge error in judgment on the part of another or another entity, and even securing us further in a social and material way. The Seven of Swords reverse is also indicating the retrieval of something that has actually been lost or denied to you, coming through a friend or a relative, or possibly even the retrieval of a close connection that maybe was separated from you or kept from you when it should not have been so. Sometimes we have to wait some time for a friend or a relative or somebody we deeply care about that we may have accidentally, or maybe we didn't accidentally, maybe it was just circumstantially lost to an unfortunate circumstance, whether it was some dysfunction within the household, clique wars, drama, you name it. But there is a chance you get your sweet sibling, sweet friend, sweet cousin back in your life this week. As we move on to love and romance, we've got the Knight of Wands upright, and a lot of you Sagittarius people who are maybe available and single are finding yourself in a position to really jive over a mutual passion in the geekiest way possible with somebody new. Now, of course, this could be something that's done at a distance, right? That's what technology does. It allows us to do that. But with the Knight of Wands upright, we actually have an opportunity to really actually establish an intimate rapport and really kind of heat up a growing chemistry with somebody over a mutual passion, whether it's something creative, something spiritual. It's an obsession that is actually very creative and inspiring for both at the same time. And, sometimes that can be exactly what gets a person's motor running. And so enjoy that. When it comes to those of you who are currently in established relationships, your partner is definitely becoming a bit of an expert in an area of your life that you thought was kind of your own personal passion, your own thing, something that you had normally just kind of had all yourself. But, if we find out that a partner is becoming just as interested, just as passionate, just as committed to this whatever activity, this recreational activity, spiritual activity, artistic activity, this deep passion, we have another level to go to right away in our relationship. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because you all know I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session, go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.